guys, that is week 3 of training for Oceanside 70.3, which I think is April 6th. So I've got, I don't know, 9 more weeks or 10 more weeks. I don't even know. The math is not my strong suit. I did get in 4,125 yards of swimming this week. I got in 71 and a half miles of biking, and I got in just under 20 miles of running. Now, I also recorded 3 podcast episodes. I recorded a check-in with Brooke Fuller. That episode is already available. I recorded a podcast episode with Tony Carveth. That episode will be available in a couple of weeks. And I was really excited. I had a conversation with Brad Miles of Lever Movement, and I had special running correspondent Ashley Rains on the podcast this week. So it was a very, very busy week. All that, and I worked full time. I had an incredibly busy week at work. So I'm going to count all this as a win, even though I didn't get in as much strength training as I had hoped last week. But there is always next week, right? And then I had hoped to have some sweet drone footage for you. I bought a drone. I didn't practice with it today, but I've got to figure out how to download the video from the SD card onto my phone so that I can upload it. But really, when I reviewed it back to my computer, it wasn't as sweet as I thought it was. It's a nice drone, don't get me wrong, but obviously I'm not super familiar with it. And I'm so excited because I had a really good conversation with my wife yesterday, and I'm going to be getting a gravel bike. Probably in the next 2 weeks, I am going to get a new bike. I'm leaning hard into the Trek Checkpoint AL2, I think it is. So it's the it's the bottom of the line, but it's pretty sweet. They've got one my size here in Fort Worth. So we had talked about going over and getting it today, but I wanted to make sure that I thought it through and I didn't make a impulse decision. I know, right? But hopefully I will have that in the coming weeks to show you, because there is a really nice gravel kind of road about 20 miles from my house that I can get in some really good outdoor bike riding. Because if you listen to the podcast on a regular basis, you know that as much as I love riding my bike outdoors, it's just not safe on the roads around where I live. And so that's why I do most of my riding on the trainer. So anyway, week 3's done. Thanks for following along. Hope you guys are doing well, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow full session, which is the start of week 4. Yeah, yeah, it's not that fancy. I'm actually thinking about, I got to figure out how to convince my wife to let me paint Well, cool. Well, there's Ashley. We can hear you great, or I can at least. I'm guessing Brad can. So, Brad, do you go by Brad or do you go by Bradley?